Hello gamers, welcome to another Gold Demon 12 video. Today we're just going to be talking here a little bit about the Zenless story. So if you want to put this on the background, I totally get that. Or of course you can have it on your main screen and then just tell me my hairline's off or something like that, even though it's totally fine. It's just the way my hair is growing in. But that's besides the point. The Zenless Zone Zero 2.2 story I think is absolutely amazing, and I really should have made a video about it sooner on my channel, but it is what it is, bro. Life be life. So yeah, like where do I even start? It's crazy to think about that Zenless is like in the position that it is right now with its story, because I felt that it was had a really rough start with 2.2.0. That was just really hard for the writer to transition over to what they're doing now with the story, and it was, you know, kind of in between in 2.1, which I do like aspects of it in 2.1, but it kind of felt like it was two separate stories that didn't really mix together, and they just kind of, you know, towards the end forced them together with the whole miasma fiend thing, because it seems like really that the whole plot with Yishuan having her sister, spoiler warning in case you haven't played this story, by the way, that should be obvious, having her sister be brought back from her memories from miasma, and then nothing happened with that. Like, it shows up and then disappears until the end of the story, and then Yishuan shows up to fight it. It's like, I don't know what they're trying to do with the narrative there. That just seemed out of place. But the stuff with Yuzua and Alice, that was, you know, I like that. Those scenes were great. And so yeah, and like I say that because, at least in my opinion, I don't know how many people think about this, but narratively the game has had issues primarily with Yishuan, and, you know, pretty much every time she shows up. And I want to point out specifically her sister's example, because it just seems like something they didn't want to continue on as like a narrative thread, right? That being said, though, as I already said, the 2.2 story is amazing, and I just want to talk about that a lot. The some like key talking points are of course going to be the cutscenes are great, the actual, you know, story itself in terms of the plot, narrative, and the characters, right? All of that is great, and of course, the end of the story with how it's, you know, since it's off and like what our objective is going forward. I think they did a fantastic job this time. I want to, you know, also feature a couple of cutscenes here. I've got Robin. I honestly don't know how to say the channel name, but it's, you've probably seen this channel, like some dude that just records the gameplay of all these gacha games and uploads on his channel to like look at the cutscenes. But yeah, that's like the main thing. I'm gonna go and talk about one of these key points I think they did a really good job on, specifically Magus and Orphe, in terms of her trauma inside of the military, almost being killed inside the Hollow Zero incidents that, of course, are, I believe they call it Cataclysm. I might be mixing up names from different games, but the fall of Old Capital, right? And how her and Isolde are, you know, effectively have the same like ideals in terms of getting, you know, getting revenge. But of course, Magus, who was pretty much killed and had her consciousness transported into a intelligent construct, is now attached to part of Orphe. Is going to have a different viewpoint because she has to spend time with, you know, I mean, I guess I wouldn't say civilians, but like her squad, and has to grow via her squad and having a new family to be with, versus Isolde, who sort of isolates herself off. And of course, you know, because of that, those two, you know, their conflicts intertwine, or I should, I'm wording it wrong. Those two come into conflict because they're starting to lead on two different paths, right? In terms of their character, right? This is something you often see in storytelling, where it's two characters share the same ideals, but their way of going about it are different. So of course they come into, you know, clashing with each other, right? And I think they do a great job here. And this is one of those points where they do a good job actually utilizing the comic book panels, which I've said before that I don't think they use them enough. And I do think they do a pretty good job here for the most part. There's one scene that I wish had some comic book panels, but they do a good job here of using it to show off the backstory of Magus, specifically Magus slash Orphe, or Magus slash Orpheus, and then later, you know, expand upon that with how Orphe is now, you know, attached to Magus, right? Or I really should say vice versa. Magus is attached to Orphe. But yeah, I think they do a great job there talking about that. I don't know I probably won't play this. I really do think you should play the story for yourself. It looks great. The story is great. Also, Azilda, she looks great. uh, had to throw that in there somewhere, right? Everybody knows, fantastic character, but those I think were some like key highlights. I do want to say there is a negative, however. I think that these Bang Boo sections, they don't do anything with it. There's like 2 or 3, I forget off the top of my head, where it's pretty much just a straight line of you walking towards the like point you need to go to, and that's it. Like, they don't do anything creative with these story segments of the Bang Boo section. I'm not sure why they decided to not do that. I just thought it was very uninteresting in terms of like playing through it, gameplay wise. But that's really here nor there. And then to like note on the characters, Orphe in particular, I do think they do a great job, whenever she pulls you off to the side in the middle of the story and tries to explain to you what's going on with her and Captain Magus in terms of their relationship, how she is a clone, effectively, of Magus's original body, right? That right there, I think, is great. She is, of course, talking about how she feels objectified, how she's forced into this position, and that she hasn't really had a life outside the military because, of course, well, she's a clone of a military agent who has basically lived in service for what is now going to be like 2 lives towards the military, right? And so she obviously feels a connection with Magus, being that she is a clone of Magus. But then, of course, she is her own individual in of herself, outside of that, or at least tries to be. And I do think they do a great job whenever they pull you to the side, and she explains all that to you. Also, Zhao I'm probably saying this wrong. This character popped up out of nowhere, and I think she's so funny. She just pops up and is like, we're the secret agents at Tops. We are the ones who handled the brutal competition. It's really funny because they're building her up to be this like executioner type character. No idea where that's gonna go, but this creature right here has big potential to be something pretty, funny, like in terms of gameplay and as like actual character. I know there's gonna be a lot of people mad whenever she drops as an S rank, because I guarantee you right now, in like 2 weeks, whenever they do the trip, or it might be 3 weeks, they're all over the place with the trip marketing and for Zenless. Whenever they trip market this and she's gonna drop as an S rank, people are gonna freak out, right? Because they already had to, freak out against Monato whenever he was dropped as an A rank, and compared to the other 2 in terms of the design, which I did a video on. I feel like it's gonna happen again whenever this character gets dropped as an S rank. The crash outs will be legendary. That's what I'm honestly hyped for the most. Not even her. The crash outs from the fans whenever this character gets dropped as an S rank. It's gonna be so funny. I'm looking for the moment. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So I'm gonna let this play because I actually think this is a really nice scene. Yeah, I'll let this play.
An intelligent construct.
Oops.
No, the captain is more than that. Can I trust you, Proxy?
You can trust me, just like how you trust Captain Magus.
I'm just a gunner, a soldier here to support Captain Magus. Orphe, you're being too hard on yourself again. You're special. You're one of a kind. That's how they would comfort me, if Captain Magus and the others were here. But no. I know that I'm not someone special. From the moment I was born, being a gunner has been my sole purpose and mission. In the disaster 11 years ago, New Eridu lost so much. It lost so many of its soldiers. The Defense Force's last remaining gemstone, Obsidian Division, also suffered heavy losses. At the time, the military had launched various research projects. Enhanced soldiers, cybernetic soldiers even, cloned soldiers. It sounds brutal, doesn't it? But if it weren't for these cruel projects, Obsidian Division might never have lasted this long. I was also born at that time, cloned from a legendary soldier, and designed to aid that legendary soldier as an assistant. That legendary soldier's military codename was Magus. The soldier's original body has long been destroyed. All that remains now is a backup of her consciousness, or what you could call her soul, stored within the weapon. Even in death, she's still wielded as a weapon by the Defense Force. Though Captain Magus always says it's what she wanted, is it really a blessing or a curse? All things considered, I'm quite lucky. Selfish, even. I stole her body, her name. You could even say I stole her life. But Captain Magus has never cared about that. She'd just say to me, "Orphe, my life was far too boring. You should live your own life." I know the looks in my comrades' eyes often carry sympathy or pity, mockery, or even disgust. Still, I can't help but feel that I'm lucky. I met Captain Magus, I met Obel Squad, and even crossed paths with someone as strong and interesting as you, Proxy. I know there's nothing special about the way I was born, but you all keep telling me, "Orphe, you're being too hard on yourself again. You're special. You're one of a kind." Yet, the cold glass tanks, the tasteless nutrient fluids, those eyes filled with sympathy, pity, mockery, or disgust, they all proved one thing. I'm nothing special. They all told me I'm just a pathetic, tragic person. But you all keep telling me, over and over again, "You're one of a kind, Orphe." I can leave those glass tanks in the past. I just don't want to let your expectations down. Rather than those cold, lifeless glass tanks, I want the warmth of Captain Magus. I'd rather have my noisy Obel Squad and you, the cool Proxy. Our pasts, whether it's mine or Captain Magus's, are not what define us. Although Captain Magus often jokingly calls you the villain, that's all just talk. Our pasts are not what define us. Instead, it's up to us to determine our destinations. As a Proxy, you'll lead us to the right place. I believe in you, Proxy.
Evil shall be purged.
Wait, I was muted. That. Okay, well, I was saying, I'm gonna leave that in. Okay, as I was saying, I think they do a great job with that kind of stuff, and how they do a great job with that kind of stuff, and it's definitely an improvement over the previous two updates. However, there is one slight issue with this exact thing with her talking about how she, you know, feels in a weird place because of her, you know, being a clone of this other soldier, where they immediately proceed to sexualize her in one of the later cutscenes. It's not obviously the exact same thing to what she's talking about, but it does take some people out of the experience, and they could have solved this issue by just moving the camera up and it would have got the same effect. There's no reason for the Orphe ass shot, but I just do want to still play it for context, and plus it's a really cool scene because they do the final Kamehameha just like it's Goku and Vegeta. That is gas and fire. The cutscenes are always great.
They've been burning inside you and me.
But these flames shouldn't be
By the way, there was no reason to put Yi Xuan in that shot. I don't know what she's doing there. She's just there trying to look like Aura Farm or something. And like, it's okay. This is like a criticism of this like specific shot right here. I don't know why they even swapped to her to begin with, but also it cuts away from Seed way too fast. Because like Seed goes and then immediately it's cutting away from her. Like what? I hate that so much. There is zero reason to do that. But yeah, you got the final Kamehameha, actual peak.
The miasma's clearing.
Isolde.
If hot, why evil?
Ishwan Shifa. You can leave the rest.
See, it's like there was a moment to Aura Farm, and then they had to go with this shot. Move the camera up, you can get the same effect. There is zero reason to do this.
Me.
I think you mean us.
Right. Us.
But like, again, hype as hell. I love like every moment of this. And then especially the fight, which this is another thing that I think is underappreciated. They actually cooked so hard with this fight. Dude, I want more of this. It was gas. This final fight here is actual peak. They have a QT in the middle of it as well. I don't know what happened to this guy's fight, but I guess he's shooting the wrong direction. There's also a moment where she transforms into like an enhanced state, not the boss fight did before, but that was sick when she just starts pulling out these moves like she's the Flash. Like this fight is so good. I want to skip to that point. It's like whenever you get her to like 75% HP or something like that, or it might have been like 50%. Oh yeah, I skipped it. Yeah, this is fire.
Your conviction with the blade of yours, maggot. Your resolve
Oh.
is weak, and so is your technique.
Wait, he messed up the QTE. Wait. That's not okay. That didn't happen for me. Hold on. Did he didn't play? Okay, I gotta pull this up because something it actually is different if you win the technique. Sorry, there's a certain somebody that this is not the video for that gold demon. This is not the video for that gold demon. Do not. Do not. I need to pull this up because really good. Does this person get the QTE correctly? Because there's a different animation for when you do it correctly versus incorrect that I'm only now finding out. I thought they would have done that thing where they like force you to do the correct one. But that's actually a cool detail that if you mess it up, it's different. Yeah, this fight is really sick, and the moves from Isolde here they're fire.
Show me your conviction with that blade of yours, Magus.
This is sick.
You've certainly improved.
Yeah, so there's different dialogue too. I didn't know about that. That's a nice detail to see there.
Your resolve is weak.
And then this part of the fight. This one's gas. I love this. Dude, this character would be so cool if playable. Oh, yo, make it happen. Bring her back through miasma as a memory so we can play as her. Do something, please.
The one still stuck in the past.
She's so cool. I need her.
You're the one who pulled me out of my stubbornness. You're the one who saved me from despair.
Might have to skip through this because this video is already getting too long, but I think you guys get the point. The fights were fantastic in this, and there's also other cool moments that they do, and some, I mean, again, it's mostly mob fights, right? Because it's all building up to this big boss battle that they do here, but I thought the gameplay experiences this time were all pretty nice, with the exception of the bang boo sections, like I said before. Yeah, this fight, absolute cinema. And of course, there's the, we'll skip forward here, the final cutscene, which was also peak.
Enough, Colonel.
Revenge. Or closure. No matter what. There's no going back.
You're right. There's no going back.
That's why we have no choice but to keep moving forward.
I won't allow it. I don't want to lose anyone who stands behind me again.
Including you, Colonel.
People behind you. But you've lost so many. What difference would one more make? Being soft only leads to pain.
Obviously, Magus goes in to protect Orphe. It makes sense, and accidentally stabs the Colonel. Well, really not accidentally; it's intentionally. But and then you know the reveal.
Orphe!
Is it Danny?
He told us to.
Yeah, she tricks her
It's already too late for me to turn back now.
because, as she said right there, that's how she feels in her mind. It's just too late for her.
Colonel!
Which it's just it's cinema, bro. I don't know what more to say. Like I could go on and on talking about how good this update is in the story, and the main thing is I just hope they keep this high from the story because they've done everything great so far. With my again only criticisms being like the bang boo section, the needless Orphe ass shot, and there's a couple too many black screens, and there's actually one right after this.
It's too backward, Martin.
It's right after this section
Back.
where I think they should have had one more comic book panel. This is what I was alluding to earlier. If I can, this right here. So it says she's corrupted by the miasma to the point of near complete crystallization and shatters into thin air. I think this should have been an art panel, like a final goodbye art panel. They do one of her de-transforming earlier in the story whenever it's revealed that she is the overseer. They could have done one here where it's just her like basically looking sad, just staring directly into the camera, and it's like fading away. And then they could have spammed the music they've been spamming since 1.4, the No Way Home music. So like they could have done that again. But I can't glaze this enough. I just think it's great, and I'm curious what other people's thoughts are on the actual story. Right? What do you think of 2.0 or 2.2 if you played it? What do you think of the previous updates? Because that is something that I also didn't really make too many videos about. But it's crazy to see the shift, like how much better this is than the, I would say, previous two updates, especially 2.0 in particular, with where it was. And it almost feels like this is back to where we were at the start of Zenless, right? This is the comment I've seen from a few people, where this is like the Zenless and Zero that we came here for, where it's like very heavy on these characters, and of course the conflicts between each other. And the emotional conclusion whenever these two different paths of thought, intersect in terms of the story, right? And so I just think it's great. There's also the scene where I never expected them to actually show this sort of stuff, but they actually, I mean, you saw part of it right there. They are actually showing blood, these characters like dying on screen. Like I didn't expect for this. Like there's one in here whenever it's first revealed, around, no, not around there. It's a bit earlier. Yeah, right here.
After this operation,
this.
no one will
I didn't
be able to
expect
stop
this,
the
bro.
defense force from
But
staying here.
they come out of nowhere.
You're right,
Bam, 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 bam.
No one can stop you from staying now.
Isolde,
My goat.
why don't you come with me, Colonel? We can't leave our big hero behind.
I also hate that guy.
Hero? All the soldiers who never made it
God,
out.
he's so
The ones you
evil.
abandoned?
So corrupt.
Weren't they also your stepping stones? Your heroes?
Bro, he just she capped him, bro. He's dead. This peak, literal peak.
Magus, the promise you couldn't bring yourself to keep. I kept it for you.
It's so good, bro. I want more of this exact thing. It's great. I wasn't expecting them to have the dude just bleed out right there. Insane, because Hoyo's never done anything like this before, and they've rarely, if at all, shown blood just flat out. Yet it happened multiple times in this story with, Isolde literally getting stabbed on screen and then falling over dead. It's crazy. I think this is absolute peak. I'm trying to think of like other points I think that are worth like praising or like anything else, because there's a lot here. It was obviously 4 hours, and I don't want to waste too much time here just yapping about how good the story was, because I do think everybody should play it for themselves. It was a fantastic experience. And if who knows, if you haven't played the game in a while, maybe this will motivate you to actually play it, because the story was good. Or I don't know, maybe because I kind of spoiled everything important in here, you won't play it. But it can go either way. I just think it's great, and I hope they can keep it up here, because like going forward, they do make it clear at the very end, like we are super close to actually finding our teacher. But there's also stuff like this, where you've got the other dude from the temple who is already sus, and now Sarah's the overseer. Like, there's a lot going on here, and things are moving. We're going forward at a good pace, right? So I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen with the story going forward. But yeah, if there's anything else you think that should be highlighted in the comment section down below, like this is a beautiful art. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what everybody's thoughts are. I thought the story was great. I won't take too much more of your time. Like, subscribe to me on Twitch, and I'll see you in the next one. And let's look forward to more amazing stories. Hope Hoyoverse can keep it up, and maybe less black screens with text, and do a couple more comic book panels. That'd be pretty nice. And yeah, see ya.